Verno Phillips and Paul Williams. Phillips will be giving away almost 7 inches in height. Williams 153.5 pounds. Phillips 154. Time for the rules once again with our unofficial ringside scorer, Harold Letterman.
The Paul Williams-Verno Phillips fight is scheduled for 12 rounds using the unified rules of the Association of Boxing Commissions. There is no 3 knockdown rule. The doctor or the referee can stop the fight. In case it is caused by an accidental headbutt, we order the scorecards after 4 rounds have been completed, and you cannot be saved by the bell in any round, including the 12th and final round. Bob!
Harold, there is Verno Phillips celebrating his 39th birthday today. Born in Belize at the age of 3, moved to Troy, New York. 415 rounds on his resume. And Max, he has fought everybody. Says he'd like to get one more title under his belt, and he feels that maybe that would qualify him for the Boxing Hall of Fame. He's been fighting for championships since 1993 with tremendous success.
Over the last 10 years, there have been a bunch of really solid junior middleweights, and he was probably the best of that B-plus bunch. He's not only capable of pulling off an upset, but certainly he intends to tonight. He's not simply trying to cash in on a last payday. He's showing up to win. And listen, he just pulled off the upset against Corey Spinks.
That's one of those guys, too, whose career seems to have fallen through the cracks. When we asked him about, you know, all the wins that you had and you never were able to become a superstar, he threw out the name, remember when Terry Norris wouldn't fight me? That's how far back he goes.
There have been a ton of guys at super middleweight, Alex Bunima, J.C. Candelo, Michael Lerma, Kasim Uma, and when you look at their resumes side by side, Verno Phillips may have an argument for being the best of that bunch.
He went to St. Louis in his last fight back in March and won a 12-round split decision against Corey Spinks in Spinks' hometown. Says when it's all said and done, I want to retire and open up a White Castle.
Loves White Castle, this guy.
He certainly does. Well, in order to open up anything, he's going to have to deal with the Punisher. 27-year-old Paul Williams. Williams 35-1 with 26 knockouts on his resume. We saw him on HBO earlier this year lose to Carlos Quintana, but he avenged that loss back in June in Connecticut. He would knock Quintana down twice in the first round, sitting on his punches and just pounding Quintana into oblivion. It was stopped at 2:15 of round number 1. Very impressive performance as he avenged that only loss on his resume.
Reminiscent of Roy Jones' knockout win in the rematch against Montel Griffin. He'd been embarrassed in the first fight, Paul Williams was, as Jones had been. He made amends with a first-round knockout.
Then he moved up to middleweight, and he really dismantled Andrew Coley.
And the impressive thing about this fight, Coley's not a top fighter, but he can handle himself, and he's a full-fledged middleweight. Williams, who's been criticized for slapping with his punches as a welterweight, was able to cleanly knock a full-fledged middleweight out.
Says he doesn't feel any pressure being dabbed the next star of boxing. People just like you when you win, and I know what it feels like when you lose, so I don't worry about any of those kind of things. Time for the introductions. Once again, our ring announcer is Michael Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, Goose and Tudor Promotions in association with Citizens Business Bank Arena are proud to present the main event of the evening on HBO Boxing After Dark. 12 rounds of boxing for the vacant WBO interim world title in the junior middleweight division. This bout also brought to you by Banner Promotions and sponsored by Unos 100 Años Tequila, Riverside Press Enterprise and La Prensa, Doubletree Hotel, Ontario, and Sicily Italian Kitchen, sanctioned by the California State Athletic Commission, Chairman Tim Noonan, Assistant Executive Officer Bill Douglas. At ringside, the 3 judges scoring this bout, Raul Kaiz Sr., C.J. Ross, and Fritz Warner. And inside the ring, the man in charge of the action at the bell, referee John Shorley. And now, for the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world, ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble! Fighting out of the blue corner, wearing black with white, officially weighing 154 pounds. Professional record, 54 fights, 42 victories, including 21 knockouts. He's got 11 defeats and 1 bout even from the mile-high city of Denver, Colorado. The 3-time former junior middleweight champion of the world, Verno and fighting out of the red corner, wearing black with yellow and orange, official weight 153.5 pounds. Professional record 36 fights, 35 victories, including 26 knockouts and only 1 defeat, that avenged. From Aiken, South Carolina, the 2-time WBO welterweight champion of the world, Paul the Punisher Williams.
Okay, guys, this HBO main event is dedicated to our friend and colleague, Toby Gibson. So the WBO title. I mean, good, clean fight, touch gloves, good luck.
Good luck to you. All right.
The last time we saw Paul Williams on HBO, we were ready to anoint him the new big thing. Carlos Quintana, a good veteran boxer, upset him. Verno Phillips is a good veteran boxer.
You ready? Ready, Paul?
We'll see if Williams continues to display that power that he showed in his last 2 fights, and he comes